Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the JRS Cars YouTube channel. In today's video, I have a vehicle that's awesome, amazing, has a massive fan following, and I'm also sure many of us as school kids have traveled in the vehicle behind me. That's right guys, today we have the quintessential Mahindra van. And guys, I believe that this is the world's first in-depth review of the Mahindra FJ470 van. And in this video, I hope to bring back your childhood memories by taking you on a detailed tour of the exterior, the interior, showing you its features which don't exist, as well as showing you how it is to drive a van from the 1980s. Let's get started straight away. Now guys, the Mahindra van is a really famous vehicle. Be it school vans, cargo vans or ambulances, this body style of vehicle is really very famous. However, despite being so well known, many people don't know how this vehicle actually came to be and what's the history behind it. Taking a look at the van from the front fascia with the round headlights and 7-slatted grille will remind you of the original Jeep. And that's because this Mahindra van is very closely related to the original Jeep forward control FC150, which is a small American truck built for the military. Jeep entered India through Mahindra in the 60s, and in the 80s, a van body was built on the Jeep FC160 cowl and chassis, and that's when the Mahindra van was born. Now the Mahindra van or the Mahindra Maxi Cab does have a proper name. The Mahindra FJ460 if it had 4-wheel drive, or the Mahindra FJ470 if it was rear-wheel drive. Talking engine options, early models came with the Simpsons engine, and later models came with the 2.1 litre naturally aspirated diesel engine from the MM540, producing a massive 68 bhp and 120 Nm of torque. With that brief history lesson, let's continue with the design language of the Mahindra van. You guys might have noticed I have not shown you any cinematic shots of this vehicle, and that's because I didn't want to waste your time showing you a box from different angles. There's not a single stylized element on the vehicle, and literally nothing is done to take away from the boxy look of the vehicle. This particular example has 4 extra headlights for added visibility as well as body colored bumpers, which make this van look really special. That being said, let's now move over to the side of the vehicle, where this particular example has a door handle delete. We also have a Team BHP sticker, and that adds 5 bhp. Moving over to the side profile of the vehicle, like I said, this is literally a box on wheels, but the window area is blacked out, and that gives the roof a floating design. Moving to the wheels, now I have absolutely no idea what tire size it is, but it just says MRF Super Miler 99, and the wheel caps make it look like a Mercedes from the 1990s. Moving to the rear, again everything is just flat, plain and basic, but you do get a Coorg Wildlife Society sticker, and that makes this vehicle 20% more efficient and helps it pass even BS6 emission norms. Talking about emission norms, the tailpipe is quite big and large and moves to the side like a Mark IV Toyota Supra. We also have the rear spare wheel mounted under the vehicle, and that's pretty much it regarding the styling of the vehicle. Moving to the driver side of the vehicle, here too we have a driver side door handle delete, and the combined savings thanks to door handle delete is 0.02% to the vehicle's drag coefficient. This side does not have a door, but you only have the fuel door for filling up. Talking about safety features, this vehicle has only one safety feature, and that's this metal bar running across the windows of the vehicle to prevent kids sticking their head outside. With that done, let's now check out the passenger compartment of this vehicle. Alright guys, time to revisit your school memories. Let's get inside. So the door opens like this, and once you climb inside, you are greeted by 4 rows of seats. Now as a kid, when I was in school, I used to always go sit in the last row. So come on guys, let's quickly check out the last row of seats first. Man, this brings back a lot of school memories. Once you sit down, you notice you have a pole in front of you, and this is actually a factory fitted option for passengers to hold on to while the driver rushes them to school. Talking about headroom, now I'm 6 foot tall, and as you guys can see, we have adequate headroom. Legroom on the other hand is not so good. My knees are literally rubbing against the 3rd row seats, so I would not recommend you sitting over here if you're a tall person. Let's now check out the 3rd row of seats, and if my memory is correct, this row has more space. And as you guys can see, legroom is definitely better in the 3rd row, and don't ask me why the rows are not equidistant. The windows are of the old fashioned sliding type, and you also get lights over here, and this particular van has tube lights for added brightness while travelling. Now talking about the Mahindra van, I mean you guys have seen the number plate, it says 12+1, which means it's designed for 12 passengers and 1 driver. However, most of these school vans are like filled to the brim with 30+ students, and they sit like everywhere on the seats, on top of the wheel arch, behind the driver, Basically, wherever there's space, you'll find some school kids sitting over there, and that's how these vans used to operate in those days. And guys, this pretty much sums up the interior of the Mahindra van. As you guys just saw, seats, windows and lights. That's pretty much it. And if you're going to design a van like this in modern days, it just would not make it. But back in the 80s, people just required a vehicle to move people, and that's what this van did excellently well. And now guys, it's finally time to move to the driver's seat of the Mahindra van. As a car enthusiast at a very young age, it always intrigued me as to how different a van was to drive when compared to a car. And today, it's finally the day where I get to show you how it is to drive a Mahindra van. But before that, let's just take a look at the controls and see how this van differs from a car. So guys, we are in the driver's seat of the van. Wow. Space is an issue over here. It's not very spacious, as you guys can see. So this is the visibility and the view from the front. You have a mirror over there. Hi. Now this is actually where the engine bay lives, and this is the original MM540 engine. More on that when we get driving. We have a fan over here. Cool. And now let's start this beast. Yeah. Wow. This is really an emotion, I must say. We have no idea whether we are in gear or not. Okay, we are in neutral. Oh wow, this gear lever has a mind of its own, that's for sure. So steering wheel, this is the steering feel. It's really shaky, and this is the horn of the vehicle. Sounds really awesome. So guys, this is the Mahindra van. I mean, this is how it feels in the driver's seat. We have a temperature gauge which probably doesn't work. We have the fuel gauge, which is a vario fuel gauge, as you guys can see. It shakes as long as the vehicle shakes. We have a speedometer over here, which we can twist and turn as per our whims and fancies. We have a button for the lights. The key of the vehicle over here. We have a fire extinguisher to protect ourselves from that. And that's about it. That's pretty much all it is. Now this is the gear lever. It's extremely close to my leg. And yeah, let's get driving and see how this goes. Done now. Alright guys, all set to go. You don't have any seat belt. Into first gear. That's first gear, by the way. Kids, are we ready to go?
Yes.
Into second gear. Driving the Mahindra van. Into third gear. Yes, third gear has come. Gear change in this car is just guessing. Sorry, in this van, you take hope for a gear, and then if you get that gear, you're lucky. So that's how the gear change works. It's a 4-speed gearbox. Onto the brakes. Oh, brakes have absolutely no feel. Into second gear, taking a left now. Okay. Right. Indian indicators on the right, honking. Don't stop in the middle of the road. Good. Right comfort is a bit lumpy and jumpy.
Credit go to leaf springs.
Yes, we have a guy who's very happily walking over here. Make way, van's coming through. And see how this van performs off-road because it was built for it. Slowly, slowly. Wow. Right now. We have non-existent roads over here. Let's see how this...
Unmetalled road in other terms.
Yes. Okay. So right comfort is jumpy, as you guys can see, like everything rattles and shakes inside. I don't know whether you guys can hear me, but well,
this is a so-called Kattavandi ride in Tamil language.
Yes, we are having proper. Oh wow, we have an incline over here. Right now. Here goes nothing. Wow. This Mahindra van. It may be over 50 years old in design, but today it feels absolutely awesome to drive. Taking a right. This vehicle belongs to an age when there were no indicators. I don't think the brake lights also work. Glad the horn works. Totally an awesome and magnificent driving experience. Mind the trees. Sorry kids, this is a fast van drive today. And I should mention here that the temperature gauge works, but the speedometer, that doesn't work. You press the brake and hope the vehicle to stop. Hope for the vehicle to stop, that is. Second gear is actually enough to drive this vehicle. You don't need first gear. Tata's wondering what I'm trying to do. Just driving a van. Pulley goes move out of your way, that's cool. Into third gear. Yes, into third gear. So this is a 4-speed manual gearbox and you really have to feel for the ratios. The gear throw is like literally it's like from Kashmir to Kanyakumari for sure. Honking, junction. Wow, speed breaker. Raise the vehicle. Oh wow, wow. Sorry. Bad jump. Into second gear again. Sit down. There's no tachometer, you can't see how many revs, but I probably think it should rev out. Bad sounds. It should rev out, I think probably by around 3000 rpm max, I guess. Old MM440 engine. Steering has a mind of its own, as you guys can see. It likes to turn however it likes.
I believe the steering is playing Ringa roses with you.
Possibly. On the brakes again. Praying for the vehicle to stop. Let's take a right. Into first gear to see how the vehicle performs. Left is clear. Into second gear. First gear is useless, you don't actually need to use first gear. This vehicle has only 120 Newton meters of torque, but I think it gives it from like idle RPM. You don't require first gear actually. Full throttle now. Wow. You need to corner at speed, then only you have power steering, or else it's like driving a non-power steering vehicle. Indicator don't work. Oh, with this musical horn, you have the idea you can actually make your own master theme music with the song. That's awesome. He doesn't understand the theme music. Taking a right turn now. Steering is really heavy. You don't need to go to the gym. Drive this vehicle and you're good to go. This is like driving a gym. You guys might wonder why all the van drivers have really big biceps and arms, because of this steering over here. Truly a remarkable driving experience. Wow. Switching off the vehicle? No, this doesn't do anything. You have a lever over here and you just yank it. And that's it. We're done. And so guys, that's my review of the Mahindra van, Maxi Cab or FJ470, whatever you want to call it. It really was fun driving a vehicle that's over 50 years old in design.